Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm super excited because I'm going to be trying out the new Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer. I also have the powder and the two brushes as well. I'm very excited. Fenty Beauty came through and sent these over. So thank you so much, Fenty Beauty. This video is not sponsored. I wish it was. If y'all want to sponsor me, hit me up. I will not say no. I'm super excited. By the way, I am like in the middle of like getting sick, I think, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. And also, what a more perfect day to try out a concealer because I was super sick all night last night. My stomach was a mess, so I didn't sleep barely at all. I think I only slept like 3 hours. So what a more perfect day to try out a concealer. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, then you already know that the Pro Filter foundation is my favorite foundation of all time. So I was super excited to see that they were coming out with concealer now. They do have their matchsticks that I know that they were using for concealer for a while. I personally didn't really like it for under my eyes. I'm very happy that they came out with an actual concealer. In the foundation, I am shade 190. This is my perfect match. So they did send over the corresponding concealer. There is 50 shades of the concealer and they just added 10 more shades to their foundation line. So there is 50 shades of the foundation as well now. If you are shade 190 in the foundation, then you will be shade 190 in the concealer, which I think is so helpful, especially because hearing 50 shades, it's a lot, and then trying to like pick your shade, it's very overwhelming when there is a lot of shades because you're kind of like, okay, I don't know what to pick. So I like that they have a corresponding number. I think that is so helpful. So if you're like that shade in the foundation and get the corresponding concealer, this should be the concealer, but you can either get one shade lighter or one shade darker. But this is kind of just like your starting point for the concealer. I was looking on the Sephora website right now. The products are up. Well, when this video goes live, the products will already be available, so that doesn't matter. But I'm just looking at some information and stuff, and for the powders, I have the shade Butter, and it says like color Butter, and then it says for shades 100 to 190, which I also think is extremely helpful as well. So Banana for 200 to 290, so it gives you like, it tells you the shades that would work for that powder, which is so amazing. So I'm really glad that they did that. For the concealer, it is $26. You do get 0.27 ounces or 8 milliliters of product. In comparison to Colourpop, get 0.14 ounces. You get pretty much almost double the amount of product in the Fenty one. The creamy, long-wear, crease-proof liquid concealer with light as air, medium to full coverage that brightens under eyes and conceals blemishes and redness. It's a sweat-resistant formula, comes in 50 shades, and it's each designed to pair with your Pro Filter foundation. Let me give you some information about the powder. The powder is $32, and it says it is a superfine, weightless, loose setting powder in 8 sheer shades to perfect and extend makeup wear for a filtered, photo-ready finish on lock. It reduces shine and blurs the look of pores, fine lines, and imperfections for a hyper-smooth filter that won't flash back. You can use it to brighten, bake, or set. Powder has 28 grams or 0.98 ounces in comparison to Laura Mercier. Laura Mercier has 29 grams, so you get like 1 gram less of product in the Fenty one, but I think the Fenty one is like $2 or $3 cheaper, so that is nice. So let's just go ahead and get into the demo. Let's just go ahead and put my hair back so I can get this out of my face and start applying the products and do a demo. If you are new to my channel, I do have normal to dry skin, but the Fenty foundation has always really worked for me in use with their Pro Filter primer. I'm like completely out of this primer, so I'm gonna try to just scrape whatever is left in here from the bottle. Love this primer so much. It was my favorite for the longest time. Applying this all over. I have already prepped my skin with moisturizer and stuff, so apply my foundation. Like I said, I'm in the shade 190 and I love this foundation. I just got a brand new sponge just so doesn't have like any other products soaked into it or anything, so when I use the concealer I know it's like true to it. I'm also going to be doing a wear test as well, so we will check in through the day. Oh, I love this foundation. I'm just going to skim over this because I feel like you guys have seen me use this foundation forever. So now that I have my foundation on, Wow, I just love this foundation. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the concealer and try it out. They did come out with a concealer brush to apply it with, which I might try. Your eyes are usually pretty dry, so I usually always have to go in with a damp sponge. But this is the, what is this? Precision Concealer Brush. Retails for $26, so it's the same price as the concealer. Let me do a little swatch comparison. In the Colourpop concealer, which is the concealer that I use all the time, I am in the shade Light 18. So, by the way, this is what the concealer looks like. It looks just like the foundation, and I love that. Comparison to the Colourpop one, this is the Colourpop, and this is the Fenty. It's not as warm as the Colourpop. Colourpop definitely has some like peachy gold into it, and this one just looks really nice. So this one is light to medium skin with warm undertones. I think for my foundation, the shade is like light to medium with peachy undertones, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. I haven't watched any videos or anything on the concealer because I wanted to kind of try it out and base everything off my own thoughts. But I watched one video, and that was Alyssa Ashley, and I've been seeing like the little clips and stuff like on Instagram that everyone kind of just like dots it under their eyes. So I'm gonna do that. I also just want to do this, but I know a little bit goes a long way from what I've heard. So it's very creamy. It doesn't feel thick, it just is very creamy. So I'm gonna start off with a little bit first. I feel like that's probably a lot anyway. We're gonna blend this out and see how it looks. I'm gonna start off with the brush first. So it is pretty creamy. For me, I think I'm gonna have to use a sponge because my under eyes are so dry. So yeah, it just blends out really nicely with, it blended out fine with the sponge, but I just need that hydration from the sponge, you know? So that literally blended out like a dream. I didn't even have to do anything. So that's really nice. I actually really like this shade of concealer too. It's not the exact same shade as the foundation, which I feel like a lot of people were thinking it was. I saw some comments about that online, but it's not. I personally don't really like to go super light under my eyes anyway, so that honestly looks great. I feel like I can get away with just doing that. I'm gonna add a little bit more just to this area, just to brighten a little bit, but you really don't need that much. And oh, by the way, the applicator is like a paddle applicator. I like those kind of applicators for concealer too. So I'm just gonna blend this out. That literally blends so effortlessly, it's insane. I literally don't even have to do anything. Do you see that? Like a dream. Oh my god. So far, so good. I think it looks so beautiful under the eyes. It's not super matte. It's not like super radiant or like hydrating either. It's just a very nice finish. It does have a little bit of I don't know how to explain it. It's not like a sheen, but it's just not like super matte. It's if you're not a fan of the foundation because it's super matte, I would definitely try out the concealer because it's not like that at all. It's definitely more thicker. It's not super thick like a Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. It's not like thick like that, and it's not like thick and dry like Shape Tape. I don't know. I don't really have anything to compare it to. It's not like the Colourpop NARS Radiant. I would say maybe is the closest thing to this, but I think this is a little bit thicker, but not in a bad way because I don't feel it thick under my eyes, if that makes any sense. Very, very creamy, but it doesn't feel like I have anything under my eyes. It's super lightweight. The powder in the shade Butter, by the way, this is what the powder looks like. It's super nice and pretty. I love the packaging of this. It's just very luxurious. And then also in the box with the powder, there is like a little sifter thing, so like powder doesn't get everywhere. So if you're like getting this, and just make sure not throw it away, it's like hidden right here. But yeah, you just put that so like the powder doesn't fly up everywhere. So I'm just gonna take some in the cap. So I'm just gonna do that, and I usually set it with a brush, but I think I'm just gonna set it with a sponge. So I'm just gonna take some on there. I'm taking just a little bit and just kind of press that in. Set very nicely. It kind of just melted in to the skin. I take my normal brush that I set my under eyes with, which is the Morphe M438. I'm just going to take that and see how that works on there. Just to kind of blend out and take away any powder. Wow, that looks super nice. I normally use the Laura Mercier powder, so I would say that this feels a little bit more lightweight, but it feels very matte too though. Like it definitely, I feel like my under eyes are set. Use this brush. This brush is so soft. I felt it earlier when I opened it and it is insanely soft. This is the 170 setting brush, Powder Puff setting brush. It is literally so soft. Can you guys just see that? I normally don't set this foundation because it is pretty matte and I don't really feel like I need to, but I will take a light amount of it just to try it out all over the face. This brush is $34, by the way. Whatever's left in the cap, it's not very much because like I said, I don't really normally set this foundation, but for the sake of the video and trying out the powder, they're so good. Looking in a mirror, my face looks flawless. The concealer looks set. It doesn't look dry under my eyes either. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and then I'll come back and see how the concealer's doing and stuff. So I'm gonna go do that. The rest of my makeup done. I also wanted to show you guys, because I always do this, I always bake at the sides of my nose for when I contour. So I did use the powder, so I'm just gonna dust that off now and show you guys how that looks. So I think it did a good job of snatching my nose like I always bake my nose. So I do want to mention really quick, powder is very matte. I definitely feel like my makeup will last all day long because my face is very set, which I guess will work out in my favor because I actually have to go to an event later on and it's only 1 o'clock, so I hope my makeup lasts all day long. By the way, I do have pretty much everything Fenty on my face. I have the Moroccan Spice palette on my eyes. I did like a really soft halo. I actually saw Samantha Ravndal do a look like this on her friend the other day. I think she was using this palette. I'm wearing the Fire Crystal and Lightning Dust highlighter. I mixed both of them and I'm wearing the Fussy Gloss. Little update, I've had this on for about half an hour now, like the concealer and stuff, and so far it's so good. The concealer looks really nice. I have some like mascara on my under eye. Go away. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it looks very smooth. I do like the powder to set my under eyes. I think that with the combo of the concealer, I think it looks really good. It looks very smooth. I don't see any creasing whatsoever. Like I said, my skin is more normal to dry. You have even like the remotely like somewhat dry skin, I wouldn't say to set your entire face with it because my face does feel very, very, very matte. And I like having matte skin, but this is a little matte. Not so much like around this area, but definitely where I was baking and stuff, it is a little dry. So I don't know if I will use that powder to bake the sides of my nose because my nose is my problem area too. It is like the driest part on my entire face. So I don't think I'm going to use that to bake my nose like I always do. The Laura Mercier powder works fine with my nose. Like it's not too dry. So I would say that this is a little bit more matte than that. But when it comes to my under eyes, I think it looks fine. Like I don't think it made my under eyes look dry or like cakier, crusty or anything like that. It looks perfect. I love the way it looks, but I just don't think I'm going to use it to bake my nose. That's the only thing. But I do like the powder. Even like that I did set my face just a little bit. I don't think it looks really dry or doesn't feel super matte. Just really around my nose. I also baked like under my contour and stuff, and that doesn't feel super dry or look really dry either. So I think it just might be my nose. So if you have like a really problem area of where it's really dry, I don't recommend putting that powder there because I think it might just make it a little bit drier. Now it is 1:07, so I am going to be wearing this makeup literally all day long. I might do a check-in like in a little while, like in a couple hours, or I might just come back at the end of the day. I'm not too sure yet. Today is my dad's birthday, so I don't know if I'm going to be busy doing that, and then I am going to an event around 5-ish, so maybe I'll check in before then and then I'll let you guys know how it's looking. But so far so good. I think the concealer is really, really nice. It does not feel heavy whatsoever, which I was a little worried about because when you swatch the concealer, it definitely feels thicker and very creamy, and sometimes that scares me because I'm like, oh, it's gonna feel really heavy under the eyes. I honestly don't feel like I have anything under my eyes at all. It's super lightweight. It looks really airbrushed. I asked you guys on Twitter if you guys did care about like wear tests and stuff for concealer, and all said yes. So you guys want to know like if it cakes up or kind of moves around or fades throughout the day. So I will be doing that and letting you guys know just to kind of really try out and test out this concealer. Come back in a little while and let you guys know some thoughts on it. I wanted to do a really quick update. It is 5:11 right now, so I've had this on for about like 5 hours now, and so far so good. I don't know if you guys could see, I'm trying to like get close to my skin here. The concealer is holding up great. My skin looks fantastic. The concealer is not creasing or anything, and my nose from earlier, like when it was super dry, it's gone now. Like once it kind of warmed up to my skin, it doesn't look that dry anymore. So I think also if you would like set your face with a spray or something, that powderiness or dryness would kind of go down too. So going to an event right now, check in at the end of the day once I get home and stuff to kind of give you guys my final thoughts, but so far so good. Hey guys, so I just got back home. It is almost 10 o'clock right now. It's 9:51. So I have had this on for almost 10 hours now, like 9.5, 10 hours. I'm so tired and I'm ready to take this makeup off. I just want to go to sleep, but I have to edit this first. But I just want to say that this concealer looks so good under the eyes. It did not crease at all. It didn't feel heavy at all during the day. It looks really set, so I'm assuming that's from the powder. I think it looks fantastic. It still looks exactly how it did earlier. I see myself using this in my everyday makeup, or like whenever I do a full face of makeup, because I don't really use like that kind of concealer for like everyday, but when I do like a full face of makeup, I will definitely be using this. I really like it. I like the formula. I think the shade was really nice. I like the way it felt under the eyes. I felt like it felt really lightweight. It didn't feel heavy, even though it is a little bit of a thicker, creamy consistency. It feels very light. Powder, I think it did set my face really nicely. My makeup did last all day long. I like the way it's set my under eyes. I don't think I'll be using that for my nose contour, like baking the sides of my nose, but I do like it to set my under eyes. My final review on the concealer is that it is fantastic. I really, really like it. I think it held up really nicely. It didn't crease. I've had this on for almost 10 hours. I say that I definitely recommend picking it up, trying it out. I'm excited to keep playing around with it. I'm excited to incorporate it in my makeup routine because I really do like it, and a little bit really does go a long way. The powder, like I said, I think I like the way it set my under eyes. I just don't think I'm gonna bake my nose with it. The brushes, I really do like this powder brush. Is it like a necessity? Probably not. The concealer brush I also liked too, but for me, my under eyes tend to lean a little bit more dry. So for me, I like to use a damp sponge just because I do have that hydration from the dampness of the sponge. I was using it earlier. I think it was starting to blend out really easily with it. That's another thing. The concealer literally blends out like a dream. It blends out like effortlessly. Like you have to put no effort in it at all to even blend out the concealer. It was so easy to blend. I think that was like my favorite thing, is I barely had to do like anything to blend it out. I know that the powder claims to be like no flashback, and I did take a picture earlier and with flash, and I didn't have any flashback, which is nice because there are some powders that I have that do have flashback, and it's not a pretty sight. Leave me a comment down below. Are you going to pick up this concealer or the powder? What are you most excited to try? I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.